This is good. Music video.
Championship of the world, Michael Spinks. He's got both belts, and he'll be fighting the #1 ranked contender right now, Oscar Rivadeneyra from Peru. The book on him is he's a banger. He can punch. What else? Well, we'll find out in round one, hopefully. And round one, not too far off. The crowd has picked up here at the Pacific Coliseum, moving in slowly when the fights first began, but as often happens, most people showing up now as the main event just about ready. It's 10 o'clock. We were slated for a 10 o'clock start, and the promotion, a couple of minor hang-ups due to the work on the ropes, has been running on schedule, and that's always a good sign too. So once again, the fights that we've already seen. The first bout on the card, Marty Schuller from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, got by Perry Evans without too much difficulty. In the second bout, Vancouver, BC native Jamie Olenberger upped his professional record to 15 wins, 2 losses and 4 draws with a convincing decision over Jimmy Johnson. In the third bout, it has been the best fight on the card this evening. Michael LHWC Jr. of Vancouver, BC did impress some people. I hope he impressed you out there. That was your first chance to take a look at him. He's a young kid, 19 years old. He's got it all. He's good looking. He's tall, he's lean, he's got speed, he's got power, he's got quickness, and he's got the state of mind, and he's also got good blood stock, and that doesn't hurt either. He had a big win. It went the distance over Stacy McSwain. The scoring 75-77, 74-78, 76-76. A majority 8-round decision for Michael LHWC Jr. as he upped his record to 8-0, 6 of those by knockout. And according to Don Majeski, who talked to his father, Michael LHWC Sr., interestingly enough, following the fight, he said, "Your kid's a champion. He looked super out there. It was a great learning process," and I think Don was right on that one. So we're waiting for that main event. I know you are too. Just hang in there. It's not that far off. The crowd's beginning to buzz, so the fighters probably on their way into the building, into the ring right now, making their way. We can only hope. But it's been an exciting evening of boxing already, and we've got a couple more fights. And again, hopefully those fighters will be arriving, but possibly the old mind game, do you think? The psychological games, are they continuing? Who's coming out first to the dressing room? Who's going to be last? Superstition, all that, it plays such a part in athletics. On his way into the ring, the #1 challenger, rated by the WBA, Oscar Rivadeneyra. He's wearing all black, and he's got a very intense look on his face. He knows that this is make it or break it time for Oscar. He goes out and wins that title, well, he'll be a rich man before it's all over. He goes in and gets knocked out himself. You may never see a shot at the title again. You got to make the most of it while you can. And you don't think there's so 10, 15 million Peruvians watching back home, listening on the radio, do you? Think again, look at that flag strutting around the ring. He's one of the finest Peruvian fighters ever to come out of this country, but as I said, now based in San Francisco. And for that reason, a lot of his fans back home have lost touch with him. And he's hoping that by sending this fight back with Peruvian announcers on Peruvian TV, he can regenerate the interest. And if he wins this title, well, he'll be a hero, a la Roberto Duran and many, many others throughout Central America, South America. They say that you have to be tough, you have to be hungry to be successful in the sport of boxing. Not always true, but it doesn't hurt. And needless to say, there are a few hungry people throughout those areas for a variety of reasons. Well, the challenge is here, and we await the champion, which is just about what we expected. The music picking up. Michael Spinks now working his way into the ring to the refrain of "This is it." Spinks will be looking for his 24th consecutive victory as a professional since he went to the pro game following the '76 Olympics. And there is a possibility that the Canadian light heavyweight champion, should Spinks hold on to his title, the Canadian light heavyweight champion, Donnie Lalonde, would like to fight Spinks in February. Well, that's a big step for Donnie Lalonde, but if that's what he wants, maybe that's what he'll get. Spinks says if the crowd shows up, we can come back here and do it again. I think that may be up in the air. We'll have to talk to promoter Butch Lewis just a little bit later and find out his thoughts on the turnout this evening's card, just how well he thought it went. Spinks remains elusive, almost as tough to find outside the ring as he is to hit in it. And Rivadeneyra stalks the ring, getting anxious, getting tense, part of the cat and mouse game, while Spinks probably cooling down, resting, going through his mind sight, relaxing. He's the champion, he's the veteran, he's been there before, and that's half the battle, at least. Crowd now getting a little bit anxious, starting to clap and pound their feet. Still, no sign of Spinks. Perhaps it's all part of Michael Spinks' game plan. He may be just thinking, I'll arrive, put in a couple of quick minutes, drop the challenger, send him home to Peru quickly, air freight, and get out of here with my $500,000, which is what he'll be receiving for his part of tonight's card. The second biggest payoff of his career, the biggest, of course, against White Braxton, and he deserved every penny. That had to be one of the tougher fights he's ever had. The bulk of Michael Spinks' entourage has already arrived, so I expect he can't be too far behind. Spotlight beginning to pick up. The entrance so very important. Ego, a part of boxing, a part of any professional sport, a part of any sport, amateur, professional, little league, you name it. If you don't have pride, if you don't have an ego, you're probably not going to be that successful, especially in this boxing and individual sport.
Please welcome the chairman of the WBA Championship Committee, Mr. Dr. Cordova. Dr. Cordova, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the supervisor from the WBC, Hague Collagen. And the chairman of the Vancouver
as we await Michael Spinks' arrival, let's go up to the ring and listen to ring announcer Phil Johnson. good boxing beat. That'll get your blood moving and get you ready, get you started for a fight. That's all part of a good promotion. Meanwhile, we've got half the Peruvian 5th Cavalry in the ring right now with Oscar Rivadeneyra, along with elite members of the Canadian Boxing Federation, ring announcer Phil Johnson, a couple of guys in uniform, and more hangers-on than you could ever want to see. And there's Leon Spinks. Let's see if I can flag Leon down and get him in here for a quick comment. Leon! Oh, yes. Leon was on his toes. He saw me waiting. He's coming right over. Going to get a few comments from him. One-time heavyweight champion of the world. I'm sure he'll have some astute erudite comments on his younger brother, Michael. Sit down. Leon Jonas, good to see you. How are you? Good. What's going to happen in this fight coming up, Leon?
About the guy. We know nothing about the guy Michael fighting. And his name came up the first time we heard of him. But we ready for him. I think we're going to come out with victory.
Michael in shape?
Oh, he's in top shape.
Now, he's had a lot of hassles with the Grey Cup festivities around Vancouver. There's been a lot of promotional work. He's been out of the gym. His training's been interrupted. Will that have an effect? Will that have an effect on the fight? The fact that he's been asked to do so much promotional work and get out, go to contests, and do that kind of...
See, he used to that. He used to doing that. And I mean, he rests a lot, sleep a lot, you know, so I think he's good rested. His weight down good. He looked good, slim and trim. So he's ready.
And just before we get down to the final few seconds before the start of the fight, what about you? What's happening with your career?
I'm coming up in probably January. I'm going to fanatic now with different people and whatnot. But I should be fighting pretty soon.
You'll be sticking with the cruiserweight division?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with it.
That's your division, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too.
You'd never fight as a heavyweight again?
I couldn't say that because someone thought that if the money come right, you'll fight anyway.
That's right. Yeah, money talks. Big money screams.
Right.
Now, could you give some advice to your younger brother, Michael? Now, he's talking about taking the step up to the heavyweight division. Is that realistic for him to make that move?
See, it's easier for him because he's tall, big bone, and I think the whole...
We better stand up. This is the Peruvian national anthem. We could get shot. Hang on. A lot of noise.
This fight is being conducted under the auspices of the WBA. The 3 knockdown rule will be in effect. The judges at ringside, Isidro Rodriguez from Venezuela, Nicosia Drake from Panama, the third judge and the referee for this evening's bout from Puerto Rico, Mr. Joseph Cortez. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Butch Lewis of New York City and his co-associates, Carling O'Keefe Breweries of Canada and Dutton and Orman Associates, it is a pleasure to welcome you to Vancouver's Pacific Coliseum for the main event. 15 rounds for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. A battle between a magnificent champion and an undisputed challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you the fighters. The challenger is from Peru. He has been boxing since he was 14. As an amateur, he acquired 3 national titles. He defended it numerous times. In America, fighting out of San Francisco, he became the California State Light Heavyweight Champion. A decisive victory over Jerry Celestine earned him the #1 ranking in the WBA. He also has a high ranking in the WBC. He fights for his homeland. He fights with his heart. He weighed in at 173¼ pounds. His record speaks for itself. 18-0, 13 by knockouts. The #1 challenger in the WBA, the blue corner, Oscar Rivadeneyra. Rivadeneyra, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the red corner, the champion in every sense of the word. From an amateur record of 93-7 to an Olympic gold medal in Montreal in '76, he took the WBA light heavyweight championship from Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, July of '81. He defended that 5 times and won every time by a knockout. March of '83, a historic fight, Atlantic City, New Jersey. 15 rounds, he defeated Dwight Braxton and won the WBC championship. He is the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Spinks. Spinks, ladies and gentlemen. Fighters to the center of the ring, please.
All right, it took a while to get underway, but both fighters now in the ring, and we're looking forward to a dandy. This is for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. You know who holds the belt. Michael Spinks. He's got reach. He's got height. His opponent, Oscar Rivadeneyra, well, he's got heart. He's going to have a lot of it if he's going to take that belt away from Michael Spinks. Can he do it, Leon?
I don't think so. I think Michael's ready to prepare. And he watched the guy fight from us, so I think he have an idea how he's going to beat him already. Because the first round going to be the real answer that's going.
You expect him to just stay outside and use that jab like he has so often, then he'll hook off.
Fill him out.
Fill him out that first round. Okay, just about ready. The finishing touches put on Michael Spinks. He was late arriving, but he looks awfully loose and cool, Leon. So way to be relaxed out there. Don't burn up that energy.
He's relaxed. He don't see no tension in his. He's cool, but he got all the confidence in the world. Well,
he's cool until the bell goes into the
hot
cool.
They turn to a match.
Underway, round 1. Should be a dandy main event. Undisputed World Light Heavyweight Championship at stake. 15 rounds. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The third man in the ring this evening, Joe Cortez. He's been there before on a number of occasions for world title fights, so this is nothing new to him. Good left hook, but blocked nicely by Michael Spinks. He does that so well, Leon. You can see it coming, adjusts, and really falls harmlessly away. Yes, you may hear a few encouraging comments from sideline here from brother Leon Spinks. He looks like he's going to get involved in the fight. Guess you can't blame him for that. It is his brother out there. But the opponent, Oscar Rivadeneyra, in the black trunks, the #1 ranked contender in the world by the WBA in the light heavyweight division. From Peru, he's the Peruvian champion. Michael Spinks, the Jinx, you know who he is. You've seen him before, you'll see him again, and he's fun to watch. Ducking nicely under the right hand by Rivadeneyra. Brother Leon, you heard it. Says go with the jab. Now that's been his style throughout his career. Again, ducked under and came over the top. But Oscar Rivadeneyra does a pretty good job himself, coming back inside, going underneath, and throwing the hook to the body of Michael Spinks. Pretty good right hand, but just a glancing blow by Michael Spinks, but it had something on it. That voice you hear is Michael Spinks' older brother Leon, at one time the heavyweight champion of the world. Right now he's acting as Michael's coach and at times color man too. Pretty good exchange in the center of the ring, and a good overhand right by Rivadeneyra. But in the corner, Spinks lands a good short right hand of his own. Rivadeneyra showing no fear. He's coming right after Spinks. That could be his undoing. But when you're in the ring, you've got a chance to win any title, any championship in the world. Then you got to give it your best shot. There's no use going out there and just picking up your paycheck. You might as well try and win it. Spinks, so calm, so cool, so in control. No wasted energy, no wasted motion. Round one gone. Looks like you could probably go 20, 25, whatever it would take to do it right about now. Not a heck of a lot went on in that first round. A couple of good exchanges. Let's see what's going on in the corner. We'll see Spinks getting the work over by his crew. So very, very important. Now, what are they saying to him right about now? Do you figure after that first round, you won it, you lost it, you got to do this?
Well, I'll do it. You can beat him with right hand. All you got to do is on the jab. Jab is enough for him.
Beat him with which right hand? What kind of punch?
Overhand right.
Right over the top. Just land that big one.
Use the jab from the beginning. Just to use the jab, double jab, and then come over with overhand right.
Jab, get him to concentrate, to gear in on that, and then when he think jab the third time, right lights out. Yeah. Okay, we'll see if he does that. Just about ready for the start of round two, scheduled for 15. Undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Both belts, WBA and WBC, held by the champion, Michael Spinks. Oscar Rivadeneyra of Peru wants both of them. The longer the fight goes, as we are early in the fight, second round, the longer it does go. Good left hand by Spinks. Oscar tried to duck away from it, but Spinks had something on it, and it landed as Rivadeneyra was walking away. But the longer the fight does go, the more the edge has to be with Michael Spinks. He's been there before. He's got 15 rounds. He's got 10. He's got 12. And that, with time, you build up that natural conditioning. And you can handle the pressure in a pressure situation. Spinks just a little bit more aggressive in the second round than he had been in the first. Listening to his brother, he's going to the jab, We'll look for that big right hand over the top, and there it came. But Rivadeneyra scores good with the left of his own. And now on the attack has Spinks backing up in the corner and looked like he's a little bit hurt. Not a bad right hand over the top. Spins Spinks around, but Spinks is taking a few shots, as is Rivadeneyra. You see Rivadeneyra's face a little puffy already. He's got welts in and around his left eye from the right hand of Michael Spinks. But he's not afraid. Gets on that railroad track, keeps moving forward. Whether he can keep it up for 15 rounds, we'll find out. Bleeding now. It's difficult to tell. It's more just a welt around. Oh, it's opening up a bit more. The cut around Rivadeneyra's eye. It's just above it, outside. A little too early to tell whether that will have a major effect in this fight. But a master surgeon, a technician like Michael Spinks will go to work on that, try and open it up and end this fight. Get out of town with $500,000. Good right hand, short right hand by Michael Spinks. Both fighters bleeding in and around their left eye, although Spinks' cut, even though it is above his eye, it doesn't seem to be bleeding that badly. Now, is Michael a bleeder, Leon? Do you know what I mean? Has bleeding been a problem with him in the past? He doesn't seem to, he's cut, but it's not really flowing with a lot of blood.
No, but see, Mike is not an easy cutter.
Taking a look at that action again in slow motion from the second round. Rivadeneyra with a little bit of a thumb there, and
no, see the fight could, I mean, like the cut on my guy could be a butt, accidentally butt.
It looks almost like a butt cut.
Yeah, it's like a butt in the second round. But it's a good fight. That's why my guy keep moving. They went up because the guy's strong and coming on. And just want his eye cut back.
But he's got to keep his distance again, doesn't he?
Yeah, my guy keep his distance, stay away. One good shot.
All right, better round, that second round for Rivadeneyra. That was the bell for round 3, scheduled for 15, the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world on the line. Michael Spinks in the white trunks with the black trim. Oscar Rivadeneyra, #1 contender, rated by the WBA, the Peruvian champion, in the black trunks. Now fighting out of San Francisco. Rivadeneyra backs Spinks up. Rivadeneyra seems to have good power. He's short, he's stocky, he's muscular, and that overhand right has been effective for him. He's 3 right, but he took a good shot from Michael Spinks. His legs wobbled, staggered, but he regained himself. Good punch by Michael Spinks, possibly the best one of the fight. And yes, brother Leon Spinks does get involved when his younger brother is in the ring. He's fighting vicariously up there, and it's working. Now Spinks beginning to take control, moving forward, using the jab. You can expect that big haymaker that Leon told us about earlier to come right up. When it does, watch out, Oscar. Oscar breathing fairly laboriously in this third round. I have to wonder why he's taking a few shots. Perhaps that's it. There came the left, and then the quick right, followed immediately by the big quick right hand. A lot of so-called experts were concerned that maybe Rivadeneyra was not ready for a champion like Michael Spinks, one of the best in the world right now, undisputed. Well, so far he's proved those experts wrong. He's stood toe-to-toe with Michael Spinks, hasn't embarrassed himself right there. You saw it, the left to right, got inside on Michael Spinks, who's defensively very, very proficient. All this suffering from a reach and height disadvantage. You sense the feeling, though, in a situation like this. But sooner or later, Spinks is going to get inside, and of course, Oscar turns around and makes a liar out of me by going on the attack and landing a couple of good, quick, straight, solid blows to the head of Michael Spinks as the bell for round 3 sounds. Not a bad round, that one, for the challenger, Oscar Rivadeneyra.
But you know, Michael's a slow start. So I think he'll come back stronger.
Are you concerned about his slow start? There you saw him land the good left hand, got caught a little bit careless there, Leon.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bringing the hand right back like he should.
He got sharp. You feel like he hasn't been getting the training in the gym? One more shot. Good left hand, and that quick right, but he missed with it. But the technique was there. As you say, maybe just a matter of time, and then the timing will come, and then lights out Oscar. Of course, Oscar has his own plans as we get ready for this 4th round. He's looked good. That third, probably the best round of the fight for him. Scored it even. And there's the bell, round 4 underway, scheduled for 15 from the Pacific Coliseum, located in Vancouver, beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. first world title fight to be staged here on the West Coast since before the turn of the century. And no, I wasn't here to see that. But tonight we got Michael Spinks defending his undisputed light heavyweight championship against Oscar Rivadeneyra in the black trunks, the current Peruvian title holder, and he has not looked out of place early into this fourth round. 3, 4, and 5 jabs in a row by Michael Spinks. Good counter punch. Rivadeneyra leaned too far in, overextended himself, and backing away, Spinks landed the left hand. He's getting his range now.
Take it to him, Knight.
Spinks taking control. The blood still oozing out of the left eye of Oscar Rivadeneyra. Flowing just a little more freely now. Just missed with that right hand combination. Looked very dangerous. Good overhand right inside by Rivadeneyra. And Spinks counters with a good short left uppercut to the side of the head. Stiff jab knocks Rivadeneyra on the ropes. Fights his way off with a pretty good left hand of his own. Right in front of us now. They're using the entire ring, and Rivadeneyra backing up more than he had been. A sign once again that Spinks assuming control. And Joe Cortez says, enough of that, you guys, let's box. Blocked easily by Michael Spinks, but a good left straight hand by Rivadeneyra gets inside the defense of Michael Spinks. Spinks' arm's so long that when he covers up, not only covers his head with his gloves, he's got good left hand, the counter punch, and then Spinks follows up with a right and a left in the head. Rivadeneyra in a little bit of trouble, dazed and stunned. Saved by the bell. There we've gone through 4, scheduled for 15 from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia. Leon, surprised at all?
Yeah.
A little bit of a low blow by Rivadeneyra, and then the good left hand and the right just missed right there. That could have been it.
You see, Michael trying to counter punch every time he throw his right hand. Michael trying to counter punch the right hand now.
Good left hand and another good left. That's his strength. Now, will we see him go to the southpaw stance at all, Leon? Will he go to the southpaw stance at all and bring that left hand back?
He might, no.
He just sticks basic,
He just sticks to basic
conventional attack, and why change? It works, right?
Right.
If you're winning, why change? It's like the old 3 yards in the cloud of dust when you're playing football. When you got the horses, when you got the talent, you don't have to put the ball in the air, but those days I think are gone forever, or at least until the next change in football. That's the bell for round 5 of our scheduled 15-round light heavyweight championship of the world bout from Vancouver, British Columbia. Michael Spinks in the white trunks with the black trim. Oscar Rivadeneyra from Peru in the black. Good left hand stagger. Rivadeneyra walking in. And now Spinks starting to pick it up. As Leon said, a bit of a slow start. Well, he's got to entertain the fans, I guess. Give them their money's worth. Perhaps that's it, perhaps it's not. I suggested if he could end it as soon as possible, he probably would, but he's a scientific, a technical fighter, like a Sugar Ray Leonard. He's not an animal in the ring. He likes to use the science of boxing, and there is definitely a science. Like any other sport, there are techniques and aspects of working the body, then going up to the head, developing an attack. Having one punch to follow up another as he takes a good left hand into the ropes by Oscar Rivadeneyra, the challenger. Perfect example of that reach advantage by Michael Spinks. Spinks. He extends that left hand. Rivadeneyra looks like he's standing in a 1-foot hole. He's in big trouble when he's that far away. I think he's got to move inside, duck under, go to the body, and work the uppercuts, work the body. Like that. Of course, the only drawback to that is he's also taking punishment over the top from Michael Spinks, who is just one superb boxer. Missed with the big straight right hand, but that blood getting to be serious now, and Rivadeneyra walked into a good left hook by Michael Spinks. And those hurt. Walking away, okay, you can live with them. They still hurt, but you walk into them, it causes heavy damage. Spinks with his gloves up to block those shots by Rivadeneyra. But not that one. The left hand got through. A little bit of butting from the heads. You saw it right there in front of us. That cut is a nasty looking one in Rivadeneyra's left eye. Pace slowing just a little bit, and then Rivadeneyra fights his way off the rope, lands a couple of blows. But not really getting inside the defense of Michael Spinks. He backs up to stop the onslaught, and then he just gets back into his routine of moving forward, using the jab, using the jab. And there we have the bell. The round is over. It's been all Michael Spinks, with the exception of a couple of punches by the challenger. And that's pretty much what we expected. He is the #1 rated contender in the WBA. It's a long way from being a champion and rated #1. You've got to go in there in that square 16 by 16, 18 by 18 and win that title. It doesn't come on rankings.
Round 6, 6th round, ladies and gentlemen.
See any signs, Leon, that this thing's getting close to be over?
If Mike don't get a chance to knock him out, he's going to probably stop him.
He looked a little more anxious in that round, like he was looking for the knockout.
Yeah, he's more relaxed, more loose.
Picking up the pace, going for the big punch.
Yeah, his body warms up a lot more now.
The challenger, on the other hand, is facing. He's got the welts around the eyes. That's the bell for round 6, scheduled for 15. It's been busy, but it'll get busier, I believe. Spinks again, good defense, ducking underneath the loping left hand of the challenger. Now the crowd picking up. They want that knockout. Blood sport, they say. Give us that knockout. Turn his lights out. That's what they're here for. They came to see a world title fight in Vancouver, and they want to see a knockout. What about that left eye of the challenger, Leon? It's bleeding badly. Is that going to have an effect in this fight? Is that interfering with his vision, do you think?
No, just see it's not bleeding right now. And see, if it starts bleeding, that's the only why I think they will stop the fight. Because blood in his eye, and it's a real bad cut.
Taking nothing away from the challenger, but he's really in tough against Michael Spinks. Well, he's just so much in control. He never seems to be flustered, always under control. Saw him step in there with ferocious swing with that left hand. Just had a glancing shot off the chin of the challenger. Crowd getting impatient. They want that big KO. They haven't seen one all night long, so I guess they have reason to be anxious. Good right hand inside, short right hand, and then upstairs with an uppercut by Spinks. Couple of good blows, and now he's got him in trouble. He's got the killer instinct, Leon, you know that.
there, I know.
And he wants it right now. 6th round. Time running out. And now Rivadeneyra recovered just a little bit. Takes its toll when you throw all the punches over an extended period of time. That's what Spinks did. Perhaps punched himself out, allowed the challenger to come back and score a few of his own. He's taking a few shots now, Spinks is. But he continues to attack. And Joe Cortez says, gentlemen, let's box, not wrestle. Blocked well by the champion. And the bell is over. 6 rounds gone, scheduled for 15. The undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world from Vancouver, British Columbia. Leon, what do you think of BC while I got a chance here?
I think the challenger is fantastic. I mean, he did more than I thought he would. Really. He's more of a challenge to him.
Are you surprised that it's going to go into the 7th round? A lot of Michael's wins, though, do come between about 7 and 12. I say a lot of Michael's wins do come between about the 7th and 12th round. He goes out there, works them over, has the number of punches build up over the course of the fight in total, and then when he ends it with what is really not one big punch, it amounts to an accumulation of punches over the course of the fight.
Yeah, but you know, as we always known as Michael was fighting through the years and whatnot, coming up to the heavyweight, he always comes stronger in the end, the later parts of the round.
All right. The bell for round 7. Michael Spinks, the Jinx, in the white trunks with the black trim. Peruvian champion Oscar Rivadeneyra in the black trunks. Ooh, that overhand right was a vicious-looking punch thrown by Michael Spinks. Blood begins to flow once more from the left eye of the challenger. Spinks goes for it, sprays blood all over the ring. That blood is really picking up now. I think the fans would be awfully disappointed if it had to be stopped in a cut. For the safety of the fighters, you'd have to go along with the decision of the referee, but they want to see the big KO. We're into the 7th round of action from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. The main event, the fray before the gray is what it's been billed as, and it's been a pretty good fray thus far. Sunday's Grey Cup game, Canada's answer to the Super Bowl can be this good, and I think the fans would leave the first Dome Stadium in Canada fairly pleased, especially if their hometown team wins it. The BC Lions are in against the Toronto Argonauts, and neither team has won. BC hasn't won in 19 years, Toronto hasn't won in 31, so they're both hungry, but right now we're concerned with boxing. The fray before the gray, and Michael Spinks wants to get this thing over with, I would think, but he's taking a couple of shots, although that eye is looking awfully ugly right about now, Leon. Are we getting close to having this thing stop?
His blood's coming out freely.
He becomes very vulnerable in a situation like that with the blood oozing out of the eye. He can't see, and he could really take a heavy shot.
Really.
And that was it right there. He can't see the right hand coming because his left eye is closed, covered with blood. Cortez, veteran referee, knows that. He's watching that closely. look good for the challenger right about now, Leon. He's losing a lot of blood. It's going directly into his eye. The doctor's making an entrance into the ring to give his assessment. And as he speculated on in that 7th round, this one could be close if they can't do a good job of stopping it right now. Joe Toro, the corner man out of the Eagles gym in Seattle. Take a look at the replay from that 7th round. Good left, and you saw that right hand walk right into your living room at home. How'd you like to face that for about 15 rounds, 3 minutes a round? Not much fun. The challenger obviously beginning to show the wear and tear. And one more look at it, an even better angle as Spinks beats up on the challenger, Oscar Rivadeneyra. Ducked under one and then threw a rabbit punch that wouldn't break a soft-boiled egg, but we're just about ready for the start of round 8. Scheduled for 15. And that's the bell. Michael looking rested, relaxed, under control, and awfully comfortable, and Oscar looking a little bit scared. Take a look at his eyes. I think he's beginning to sense that maybe I'm in just a little bit too deep, too soon. He's young. He won't disappear. He's undefeated. This would be his first loss as a professional. He's had 18 fights. Won all 18, 13 of those by knockout. So this is no knock on Oscar Rivadeneyra. Putting on a fine show of courage, but he's in against the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, who's undefeated. He's paid his dues. He's been an Olympic gold medalist. He came up the hard way, as did his brother. He's not going to go down. He's not going to give up his belt, without being knocked out. I don't think he'd lose a fight unless he was down and out for the count, because he's just got too much class. But that face of the challenger now, once again, a bloody, pulpy mess. Perhaps it looks worse than it is, Leon, do you think? One can only hope, because if it is, in fact, as bad as it looks, the challenger's in big trouble. Because he won't be able to see that big right hand coming, and Spinks is setting him up. The left, the left, the left, and out of nowhere comes that big right hand. Cut by Michael Spinks, landing heavily on the jaw of the challenger. Fans back in Peru that are hearing and seeing this fight via television and radio must be a little bit concerned about their hero right now. He's left his homeland, now training out of San Francisco, and he doesn't look like he's in a real good spot right now as Spinks continues to pile up points. The blood continues to pour out of the left eye of the challenger. It's just a matter of time. Good shot by the challenger, but they're few and far between. He's not doing any serious damage. He's got to string a combination together for more than 3 or 4 seconds. He's got to have an extended flurry if he wants to put the champ in trouble, and he doesn't seem capable of doing that. There's the bell. As the challenger walks toward us, that eye is a nasty-looking mess of blood and flesh and welts. He's really taking a lot of shots to the head. It's all cornerman Joe Toro can do to keep that eye closed. Let's take another look at that. The punch over the top. And then the big left hand. It was lights out. What did you hit on that one, huh?
Yeah, he just missed it. Hit him with it. But it's a real good fight. I think the opponent real good.
Pretty good left hand.
That,
followed up. One thing about Michael, he sees that opening, he'll jump on it right now.
Oh, yeah, he'll take it right there. He'll take advantage of it.
Run in your face. Unorthodox a bit, but if he's open, if he's defenseless, attack the defenseless part of his defense. There's the bell for round 9, scheduled for 15. I don't think it's going to go the distance, but I've been wrong many times before, so stick around, enjoy it. Do you think Michael's getting a little bit frustrated that he hasn't been able to knock him out or put him down as we're in the 9th round of the scheduled 15-round fight, Leon?
See the one the guy jab, he come over with no man right there like the guy was trying to do with him.
Rivadeneyra shaking up just a little bit, taking another left hand. Yeah, he looks like he's a little bit groggy right now. Getting late into the fight, I don't imagine he's gone this far too many times. He's going down this round, Leon. Is that a bet? Good left, gets in, scores. That's a pretty punch, even when it misses. You know that? It's smooth, and if that thing ever hits anything, turn out the lights.
Punches like that make you real tired, but
yeah.
You don't have nothing, you don't hit nothing.
Whereas if you land that thing, all that force and energy goes into the body, whatever you hit.
Right. You get like a stop.
Yes, you can see Michael just a little flustered. He's going for the big one. Every time he throws a punch now, it's coming from the floor. Big right hand, bit of an elbow too. Ninth round action winding down of the scheduled 15-round fight for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. There it is, the bell. 9 rounds down. We got 6 left. If it goes the distance, is it going to go the distance? Yeah.
It's hard to say. It really hard to say. But the guys got a lot of guts, got a lot of heart, hanging in. I mean, really, he refused to go.
Again, the effective left jab by your brother Michael, and again, it's something on it that time. The challenger staggered, fell back.
Yeah.
More 9th round action here. Good combination by Spinks, just missing with that right hand. He's been close so many times with the big punch, Leon. He sets it up very well, but he hasn't really had that ideal timing. He throws 2 punches, lands, and the big one that's coming, the third one, which is usually the big one, he just missing that far off.
But the guy got good defense and offense. You know, I mean, you got to give the guy credit who might have fight. And he one of the guys that's hard to hit, hard to time.
How about the size differential? Is it tough? Of course, you never had that problem too many times when you were fighting. But for a tall guy to try and find somebody like that with the big punch, it's not that easy. You got to come up on him, don't you?
Yeah, you have to come up on him.
10th round action scheduled for 15. It's the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world between the challenger Oscar Rivadeneyra in the black trunks and the champion Michael Spinks in the white. It's not just another pretty face you see. Oscar Rivadeneyra has looked like that for most of this fight, as that reach advantage that Michael Spinks does have has been utilized throughout these 9 rounds plus. Good combination, the left and the right and the left uppercut sends the challenger down to the canvas. That's the best combination of the fight, Leon. I mean, that's what makes a champion. The 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 4-punch combination. That's what separates champions from challengers. We smell trouble. The killer instinct is coming. Oh, watch out, Oscar Rivadeneyra, because Michael Spinks is in your face. They're coming faster and more furiously. A right hand. Joe Cortez watching this fight very closely. Very closely. A few more vicious shots landed by the champion, and it could be over. Lots of time left in this 10th round, but Spinks got to follow up on that early damage you get to the challenger. Pretty good combination there. More blood, more problems for Oscar Rivadeneyra. He's leading with his head. That's not always a wise move. Spinks just about knocked it into the crowd. Putting it out in front of him, saying, hit this, and Michael obliged it a couple of times. And he will continue to do so. Joe Cortez is probably just about seen enough. I think he's going to say, fight, defend yourself, but this one's over. 10th round, and that would be a knockdown. A rollover. And to get up, and the towel has been thrown into the ring. The WBA's #1 challenger is no more. Oscar Rivadeneyra suffers the first loss of his professional career, dropping it to 18-1. Michael Spinks still undefeated at 24-0 with 17 knockouts in the 10th round. Let's go talk to the champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't leave the building. We have 2 fabulous fights still to follow on this evening's card. There are still 2 great fights to come. Don't leave the building. Clear the ring, please. Please clear the ring. Clear the ring, please. Can we clear the ring, please? Gentlemen, please clear the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, reminding you, still to come, coming up on this evening's card, 2 very excellent bouts, one featuring Canadian light heavyweight champion, Donnie Lalonde. And the #3 middleweight in the world, #3 ranked middleweight, James Schuler. Coming up immediately after this fight.
No, I don't think so.
Referee Joseph Cortez stops the fight at 1:42 of the 10th round. Your winner, and still the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Spinks.
Okay, champ, 24-0. How'd you feel about the 24th?
Hey, I feel good. I felt very good. I was a little slow at getting my stuff off, but I was fighting a very crafty guy, very crafty. He was winging overhand rights, considered for me Spinks jinx, and I couldn't land mine. I landed mine a few times, but it like grazed him. So he was very awkward to fight. He was sneaky, coming up with uppercuts, coming over top with looping overhand, so I had to be very careful. Extra careful, matter of fact, because he landed a few of them, and it didn't daze me up, but I felt that if he had landed any more, I could have been in a little trouble there.
Do you feel like he approached you in much the same way that Dwight Braxton did because he was shorter? He was disadvantaged in terms of reach?
I think he fought his fight. He was a little taller than Braxton, and he used his height to his advantage, and he tried awfully hard, but my defense was a little too tight for him. I didn't let him in as often as he wanted to get in.
A good test for you?
Oh, very good. A good guy to come back on. I was off eight months, almost a year, and I felt it. I really did.
Okay, we got some highlights of some of your big knockdowns, some of the big punches right down there. We'll be able to take a look at on the closed circuit screen. You take it from there, Michael.
Yep, he threw. See, he tried to counter with the overhand, and I stepped back to hit him with the counter left hook.
That was the first knockdown of the fight. Good left hand.
Then the left hook that hit him flush on the chin.
That felt good, didn't it?
Yes, it did, because he finally went down. I couldn't hit him flush because he was moving good. He was very crafty.
He was crafty.
Very
he seemed to duck under a lot of your punches.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Were you a little bit anxious, do you think, going for the knockout, wanting that big punch?
I was hopping into him with everything, which was a few things that I was doing in the gym, which was no-nos for me in this fight, because he could have stooped and countered with a good overhand. And that was the only right uppercut that I hit him with that finished him off. He couldn't take no more. He was wearing down very quickly.
Now, a lot of people said heading in that this guy, he shouldn't be in the ring with Michael Spinks, he's Peruvian champion, he's undefeated, he's not that good. Your thoughts after the fight?
Oh, he was all that I wanted in the fight, and more. I could have been a little quicker on the exchange in there, but I think he deserves all the credit that he hasn't got, and I take my hat off to him, because he's a very tough competitor.
He goes the same way as all the other #1 ranked challengers, WBA, WBC in the light heavyweight division.
Yes.
You're on a roll, they can't touch you. What do you do now, Michael?
I continue to defend. There's a lot of guys out there I know would like a shot at me. They may look at this fight and say they can get me now. You know, I've been off for a while, so if they want me, they're going to get me now. Well, I'm still a little ring rusty.
Step up?
No time soon. I'm going to take my time and, like I said, continue to defend as a light heavyweight.
As long as you're getting paid to win.
As long as there are guys to fight.
Marvelous Marvin?
Marvelous Marvin. I wish he was here so I can talk to him and ask him about getting it on, because he wants the fight. He's looking for these fights. And I wish him luck in winning with Duran. I think he could have fought a better fight with Duran, but Marvelous Marvin, here I am. And if you want
Vancouver,
the big payday, come and get it.
Should he get in the ring with Michael Spinks?
Yes, he should. Yes, Marvelous Marvin.
Only if the fans want it. Did the fans want it, Michael?
I'm pretty sure the fans would like to see that, because Marvin's awesome. Marvin is awesome, and so am I. I try to be anyway, if I'm not as awesome as Marvin, but I prove myself in the ring each and every time I get in there. But I just want to see Marvin take a step up And come on up and meet the Spinks, Jinx.
Yeah, underneath it, another good fight. You looked awesome once again this evening. Up to your record.
Thank you, friend. Hello to the world, St. Louis, and Philadelphia, New York.
In all points, east and west, undefeated.
Because I am the best in the West.
Undisputed. Light heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Spinks, now 24-0. We've got more action coming up. There's more fights, but I don't think it'll ever be able to match that one right there. So I'll say, for now, from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, British Columbia, we just finished watching the fray before the gray as Michael Spinks retained his undisputed light heavyweight title. From Vancouver, this is Barry Houlihan saying so long, everybody.